Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Last time, we got ourselves this lovely set of batching crafting stuff here. Kind of. Because I did finish up the last of it. So we will be trying to fill this barrel as much as we can, although it's already telling me we're out of something. Insufficient output, so it's not this one. Sufficient outputs. Inputs fluid. What do we... Oh, we're out of nitration mixture, you say? That's not good. That also provides us with fuel for half the stuff that we use. Nitration mixture right here. Because we ended up grabbing a different one here. Let's make sure this is nitration mixture only. Dump it out. And there we go. Okay, so we should be producing more of that now. Alright, so in the meantime, I figured now I can show you what I ended up actually doing to hook this thing up. It was a pain in the butt. I tried to record an episode where I thought I had it correctly, but it was one minor thing, and it's this pattern provider thing. You have to use this kind of pattern provider or the kind of recipe that I've been trying to do, whether you put it into an interface or what, it has to be one of these. Not entirely sure why it makes a difference between the two, but it does. So we set up our pattern providers to be able to craft this other thing. And then what we've done is that instead of trying to craft a bunch all at once, it will lock it up until once the thing goes in, it will lock it up. And make it to where this no longer can craft. And I want to test it out. So let's go ahead and start up a few. Oh, I needed to make a few of these really quick for what we are working on in our episode. Oh, come on. Just do up 12 of them just so that they're done. Why do I feel like that's not the right one? Because it isn't. We don't want to be making those. We want to be making the nano processors. Where are those so I can cancel them? Ooh, the other thing I did try to process, we got our nano processors. Let's do up 10 of those. Need to get the one up for one more. Okay, so we are needing to do two things really quick, so let's get the recipes for them squared away. We are going to need, oh boy, this thing here. So we are needing each and every one of these parts to make ourselves, we need to get all the LUV parts so that we can allow ourselves to make a LUV assembler as one of the requirements we're going to need for this next little bit. Will require, that's not the recipe we're looking at, just the screw, which we need to make the bolt as well. Okay, so we require the belt and the robotic arm, which requires both the motor as well as the piston. So we have to get these items squared away really quick. So where is our bolt extruder? I am going to need a upgrade pattern for my lathe, as we had to get... Where did the lathe go? Not there. Right there. We ended up having to put this HSS round in here, which is kind of interesting. Was not prepared to have to put one of those in there, but nonetheless, it is currently being used. So we need the screw. That pattern goes particularly in our pattern on the other side. Okay, can we... I guess we need more of those. So let's craft up like 10 or 12 of those too, just so they're done. I think we're waiting on circuits at this point for the pattern things, huh? Yeah, we're waiting for those. And there's our circuits, so we can craft the rest of what we need there. And then we can use those to craft our quantum bridge thing as one of... Oh, let's do that then, I guess. One of the things we were trying to work on that I ended up scrapping the whole episode was the... What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Quantum bridge? What do you need now, bruh? Oh, and I just used those. There's the pattern provider. And we can put that back into our lathe and allow us to make the screws. Okay, what else was I grabbing? I was grabbing something. I know we need to put these batteries back. I actually ran out real low on power. Once that's finished, we can craft that back up, but I tried to also make those coils. However, we ran into the minor problem of, I found out, and I'll show you, something that's a very interesting problem, because the way that it seems is like, oh, you can just do this particular thing, problem solved. You can overclock, like, you know, you could go and overclock your, what's it called, the assembler, the big assemblers. Well, each assembler can only require one energy input. And then on top of that, it turns out with the energy input, not only does it need the, what's it called, only one energy input, you think I'll get around that by doing a 4A energy hatch. Nope. The maximum tier recipe is still IV. So the only way to get that is to get the LUV thing. However, to make the LUV energy hatch, you require an LUV assembly machine. So it all comes back down to you've got to make the base version regardless of what you do. But we should be able to make our quantum bridge card really quick to make all of this crafting a whole lot easier. Why did I do that? That's not where I want to make the quantum bridge card. And there's that. So now I should be able to put that quantum bridge card in there and pull out both of the singularities and put them into, well, that doesn't do what I needed it to do. Right there. So now, no matter how far away, I should be able to open up my terminal. Awesome. Okay. Now I can use this in the nether. I can remove the wireless access points. And this will never run out of charge so long as my power on this end of the 65%. Okay. Yeah, so long as this this system doesn't run out of power, my wireless crafter will not run out of power. So that works delightfully in our favor here. So we do have those patterns that got to go to the other side. Now we have to do our piston pattern. So let's do that. So we need our LUV electric piston. It looks like we have our plates. We've already got those. So let's grab out the pattern itself. Let's grab out our HSS-S gear. Let us grab our small gear. I think that is the entirety of the pattern for that. That would be all set. Now we just have the last one, the robotic arm for LUV. Okay, and it looks like with that everything will be crafted. So we don't need to stress about that either. So now we simply need to find the machines over here that do require to be used. I should have the small gear mold over here somewhere. Maybe I took it over? Oh, I thought I had to apply it over here. Maybe I did take it all over there, gears-wise. Okay, so we have our large gear there. Oh, I guess we do have our small gear right there. Okay. Now, this is going to be the last plate one we're going to probably have to do. There is a way I can hook this up, and I can probably slide this down to the end. But there is a way to hook this up to be able to do multiple pattern bays for, actually, is there an oversized pattern provider? No, there isn't. Okay. So I can use this pattern multi-P2P to be able to apply different pattern bays to one thing. I do wish it allowed for more, or they had more things. One of the things I noticed when I was trying to figure out setting up the assembler earlier is that a lot of the tools that you have in Gregtech New Horizons aren't in this mod pack. So one of the things that a lot of people show is that, hey, you can do, what's it called? Item and fluid storage buses, specifically. There's no difference between it in this end. So because of that, you end up with the problem of trying to separate that this is going to do that thing and that's going to do this thing, and it just doesn't work. So, a little bit frustrating. We are going to go ahead and test this out with one major craft now. And it looks like we are going to require quite a bit of moving parts here. So we'll get to watch a lot of that go through. But the main system that we're going to test out here is this blocking mode with the lock crafting. I don't know if this will work the way I want it to. However, this is the one I'm really wanting to work on, because one of the other things that they had is, if you look at your cards, one of the AE2 cards that it had was a advanced blocking card. Clearly, we don't have an advanced blocking card anywhere in here, as you can see as I scroll through all these items. Even if I type in blocking, there is no card that does that. There's no item whatsoever. One of the other things that people have used to be able to help manage this is from, I think it's Steve's Factory Manager. You can't use that. That is not in this pack either. So you end up having to just use the AE2 system by prioritizing in descending orders. I went from 20 just to make sure I had enough room. So it's 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, all the way down through, I believe this one is 3. Let's see. Yeah, it is 3. And then the interface will take the item back to the grid. And that is how we have that set up. Now, that's all great. That it works the way that we would like it to. But one of the major problems is, like I said, flat out this. I did use the full block item here so that I could use it in place of cables, and it did not like that whatsoever. I don't think I need the P2P tunnel here, except for the fact that at some point we are going to want to make multiple of these and line them up as we go back, due to the simple fact that it will allow us to batch craft using the different things, and especially if this... Yes, we don't want that. We wouldn't be able to do that with doing that kind of P2P. It's kind of an interesting thought process. We have to figure out a different way to lock it, but this way should work for now. I really do wish that I could see from this side of the grid where we are at in our crafting process, but okay, it looks like we're currently crafting our HSS-S steel ingots. Our Ruridit is also being crafted. We are pretty close to having all of those finished. And then as soon as those... Oh, Ruridit's also being crafted. Where are we at with that stuff? So I guess our HSS steel is in here. Osmiridium, that's not good. And there is where we are going to encounter our very first issue that I've seen with recipe for osmiridium is iridium. Yeah, okay. That is, as some people were saying before, very well deserved. But now that we know that that's an issue, we've now encountered our very first problem with mixed crafting. HSS. What do we got? HSS-S. That one does require iridium. So how do we get the recipe? Huh. That is good to know. I know we did not craft osmiridium, so we're gonna have to actually re-fix that craft. And like some people were saying in the comments, you're like, eventually you're gonna stumble across. I got really lucky so far that that was not the case. But I finally did, so we're gonna have to craft up a bunch more HSS steel ingots. Looks like all of my Ruridit went through. Means at some point we should start to see this thing go off. As soon as we get everything cooling. Let's see. maybe? Let's go see what that said again. We're crafting our HSS ingots. Once we get that, it looks like it actually already finished one of the... Oh no, I think that's one from earlier. We haven't gotten any of these finished yet. We have 5 of those available. What is it? Is it the rounds? I think it's the rounds that I'm waiting on. The rounds and the rings. As soon as we see that thing go off, we're going to go ahead and go back and check it. And it looks like we've reached our point where we have the problem. So HSS-S steel. And let's craft ourselves the missing 27. Now we should see this pop off here at some point as soon as that... I guess it's got to go through the steel processing over there. Oh boy. What are you mixing together? Honestly, you'd think it'd be a little bit faster to go the other way, making the tungsteel and macerating, but maybe not. See, I don't think I have it as a maceratable recipe. That's probably why it's doing it that way around. So, we should now be crafting... There we go, crafting the 9. Hello? Interesting. So that's gonna not let us do what we want it to do then. That's not good. Okay. I'm gonna make sure items don't get stuffed in places they're not supposed to be. Oh, that's... Maybe the blocking mode's working? I don't know. Finished its first craft. Is it trying to do another? That is the question. Looks like we are still waiting on that. This is one of those things where going back and forth over and over again can drive you a little bit crazy. Oh yeah, we got our second LUV in here. Let's take the full 85 seconds to get this done and crafted. That should start the last of what we need there. We should see this go off one more time. I did replace the circuits that I have in there. I just kind of have this chest full of the data sticks until I get one of the data storage devices that it allows for you to use. There goes our second electric motor. And we're going to have to find a way. I really have no idea how we're going to find a way that it's going to allow us to propose the crafting to work the way that we want it to, and lock us out of crafting extra stuff. Because, like I said before, we don't have the advanced blocking card, which is something they would say to put in here into a dual interface. Which, as you can see, we've got the dual interface hatches for Gregtech, but this is not what they want. They want a dual interface here to allow you to put that card in. And I think that was something that was specifically added for Gregtech New Horizon and previous older mod packs for Gregtech. And then... Okay, so it looks like we've got all of that. Is there something missing that's not running it? Oh, it looks like we were just using the stuff to make the gear. I didn't even notice that it flew. It totally flew by and made the piston already. So now, just as soon as we finish up the last of our fluids, we should be good. Watch it go down the next stuff. Did it finish? Maybe one more craft of them? I just kind of wonder where they all went, because I thought I crafted plenty. We're still waiting on those, because I did start those up previously, and they cannot be crafted, like I said before. In the meantime, we could probably get ourselves set up to finish up with some special cells. Make the tungsteel cell here as this will give us the ability to store the tungsteel. We're going to have to transport over to make those coils once we get the machine up and running. Where did my ring mold go? Rings. So there's that. We need any old assembler. There is no matter on numbers, so we'll go put it in our nice fast assembler down here. And put our bender there. Okay, let's make ourselves a tungsteel cell for transport. Still waiting on... Why is it crafting osmiridium? I took everything out of here. What is going on? Oh, is this the only one that has a... Don't tell me this one requires. That's why. Because I accidentally put in that. That's a little bit obnoxious. So if we do the 12, that's weird. Because there's a 12 in this one, isn't there? Yeah, there's a 12 there. Is it 14? Osmiridium. Use there. Now it requires the 12. That's wild. Wild, if that's a problem there. There is our first LUV robot arm. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make sure we get the rest of what we need here to craft the LUV thing, and I will be back because it is quite obviously going to take some time. Right, we are back with our Elite Assembler. I have found the way that I'm going to need to do this. I just have to get a thing set up. So I've got ourselves a not a wireless, what is this called? The activity detector. It gives out activity status of a redstone cover. So we can run some redstone across to come down and have this lock when redstone is without a signal to keep it locked for now, and then we can have it set up so that I guess we can actually do that now, and I can show how that works. Let's go ahead and get the machine crafted up. I think we just did that. Yeah. Okay. So, last thing that we're going to go ahead and do is this cannot handle what we're needing to do. We need to run this machine down here for now, just so that we can make sure we can run this. So we want to make sure we are putting it this direction. We need it to do a step up instead of a step down, and we will put down our elite assembler to allow us to start throwing in all of our items and dump in that to start making our NADAC coil blocks. Those will take 35 seconds a piece. In the meantime, let's go fix that setup up there. So we need ourselves some redstone. Red stone. And then we can grab out our P2P tunnels that we have in here. And then we should be able to straight up just grab our coils out and say we want our P2P tunnel here. Make it a redstone P2P. And run that redstone P2P all the way across the top here. And down. I guess I went one block too heavy. So we'll fix that in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and align our P2P up right there. Oh, that's not going to work. Hold on, we got to place our cable and line our P2P up right there. And again, we will replace it with a redstone P2P. Have it go up just like so. And then we look at our thing locked by lack of redstone signal. And then if we invert that cover, we should see. No, it is locked by. What happens if I place some redstone on that cover? Do we have a block I can place down? Place down a pattern provider. Is this... No, what about now? No. Is that because I'm too low? No. Is that because we need it right there? Maybe. This is the problem here. So let's do that. And there we go. This should now... No, it does not. Why is it not transferring? Oh, device is offline. That would be exactly why. So we can connect it right there. It still says lack of redstone signal. Why is that? Because it's unlinked. Silly me. So first, shift click to get that one. Click on that one, and now. Now, whenever it is active, which means we probably can remove this now. It's still, now it says lack thereof. So if I remove that, place down the cable, place down that, shift, and click, it should, no, what? That is strange that it can't accept a redstone signal from the actual item itself. 1 and 2. So there we go. That is how we will run this machine off of not having extra inputs put into it. Now we should be able to start grabbing out some of our coils here. How many we got done? Mere 7. Well, there you have it though. There's our NADAC coils. There's our LUV, and there is how you will set up a assembler specifically in this mod pack. There are better ways in other mod packs to set up the assembly line, and it's not assembler, it is the assembly line. Big difference, but once again, this is how you set up the assembly line to run automatically in this particular mod pack. There are much easier, much better ways to do so in other mod packs. So I suggest you explore those methods when it comes to that. This is the way I'm going to have to do it because we have none of the extra fun mods in it that allow us to do better options. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. This has been a doozy of a night after one failed recording trying to figure out how this thing even works. But I appreciate every single one of you who stayed till the end of this video, especially after that hour-long one yesterday. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Have a great night, and enjoy the weekend coming up. Bye!